Welcome to Peacefully Budgeting. So let's get into this video. A couple of you have seen the Royal Quarters Rearrange and Refresh. So we're gonna go into my baseline. This is my baseline. I've taken these two areas. They've made such a huge difference. Even my oldest roommate said, "You've been sleeping very well since you rearranged your bedroom," and she was so happy because I do. Sometimes it gets to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I overslept. And I've never felt so relaxed. Besides, because I also listen to those old Victorian story videos like on YouTube that are like 2 hours long. It helps me sleep. I don't know, does anybody else do that, or is it just me? And if you haven't, I would try that and let me know in the comments how that went, because it knocks me out as a baby. So we went through the Royal Quarters. We did two areas, and I made a post about it. I even went through the worksheet. Now I'm going through, this is a freebie, by the way, so you can get this freebie. This is going to be on my Ko-fi for a small fee, as well as the Royal Treasury. So the Royal Treasury has a companion planner. This is where we have our baseline, and now we're gonna dream. Okay, and we're gonna dream till our heart just smiles, because we are all deserving of peace. We are all deserving of a good life. I walk by faith, and I'm so happy that I'm up to 96 subscribers. I've been on and off on this YouTube thing, but recently, within the last couple of months, I've been very consistent compared to prior years, and I noticed I'm in a different headspace due to just what has happened within the last year. My birthday's coming up. I am a August baby, and this is going to be launching in August, so stay tuned. All right, so if you don't have to purchase this, okay, to have peace in your home. You can still use this. This comes even with the little, task checklist. Like, did you plan the layout, move the bed? Because before I would rearrange everything and just, by the time I got done, I was tired. There was no direction or nothing. This time I arranged the plan and I sketched it out. Look at that. Look at that. That's just a beautiful art. If you're not going to hype yourself up, who is, right? So I did my reflection. I got my friend to come over. Shout out to Tiny Lady. She did an amazing job. She really helped me out. Check out my last video. I'm not going to go through everything because I'm already going to go through it over here. I started filling this out, and I said, wait, let me go ahead and drop this video so you guys can see how I fill it out. That does not mean that's the way you're going to fill it out, because my home is not your home. Tu casa no es mi casa es mi casa. Okay? And then how the Royal Treasury will be coming in. Let's start off with our Royal Courtyard Tea Fund. So if you've been following me, you've gone to my Ko-fi courtyard. I love being delusional. That's just my thing. I'm very grand and everything Victorian, all that, you name it, I love it. I think you can kind of get my vibe from my desk. Anywho, this is a freebie. It comes with a dashboard and it comes with a tracker and an IOU as well. I love IOUs because it's a friendly reminder that life happens and that's okay. And I love that. So this is just, it was my thank you for accepting me into this amazing community, and I really appreciate it. So, what is the Royal Quarters Companion Planner? Every fund deserves a vision, a companion to the Royal Treasury collection. Peacefully budgeting. So it gives you a welcome homepage, and it's build your vision before you build your space. Your Royal Treasury helps you save with intention, and the Royal Quarters Companion helps you create with purpose. Together, they transform savings into spaces that support the life you're building. This companion isn't about creating a perfect home. It's about creating a home that feels peaceful, functional, and beautifully yours. So, how to use your companion? You're gonna reset, okay? Being by clearing and the visual and mental clutter. Jot it down. I am a pen and paper kind of gal, and a lot of us are. So it's okay to be digital as well. So once you get to your baseline, you dream about how you want your space to look and feel. You plan out, you sketch your ideas, create a wish list, and identify what you truly supports your vision. Then you take your small steps, intentional small steps as the savings allows. Reflect. You celebrate your progress and enjoy the peaceful space you've created. Okay, so this is something that you are going to be watching me proofread, as well as making adjustments to the product, because it is launching next month. And I already see one thing, so right off the bat, I don't want this, okay? So you don't need to finish everything today. I did not finish my room. I started the room in May 23rd, and today is July 15th, I believe, and I just got to my baseline. Now, June 28th, that was easy. This one actually only took a week for this area, because it could be a room or it could be just a small little corner. You know, when I was going through a valley, and I don't consider this a valley, even though I'm a hot mess, I just consider myself at this moment trying to navigate a new addition to the life I had built. And during my valleys, sometimes it was tough to just even keep anything organized and whatnot. Now I'm making my house a home versus it just being a house. So I've lived in a beautiful home that God has blessed me with, and I'm trying to be the best steward that I can. And I was in survival mode on autopilot. My mom passed away a few years ago. Well, my biological mom passed away when I was, at 4, or going to be 4, and my aunt raised me. So she passed. And for the last 5 years, we've been living in a house. Beautiful house. But I want to make it my home. And I think that's a big part that a lot of people miss, is the mental aspect of budgeting, of your surroundings. And in the line of work that I do, I am very analytical. So one day I said, well, what about if I added operational visibility to overwhelmed human like myself? And ta-da! Next thing I know, I'm like sleeping like a sloth of how just peaceful my bedtime routine is just by moving the bed. It's crazy. So enough of that tangent. Let's go ahead and get this party started. So, like I said, you are watching this in real time. And this is the back cover, well, the front cover. So today's Royal Reset, I started it, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of think on this, okay? You don't have to do this in order. This is just what I started because I was transferring my freebie information over to the companion. So off the rip, this was my room. So when I walked in, it looked like an office, and a bed, a little area that I took a nap at when I was creating and just doing my budget. So it looked like an office that had a bed in it, you know. My beautiful friend came on over and we revamped it. We moved the bed, the mirror, and I love it. Eventually this TV will get mounted and we're going to start building it. But now this is my base space, you know, my baseline, and I'm already in love with it. What do I want this place to feel like? I want it to feel like a bedroom. Check, because it actually does already. And as if everything and anything is possible, because it truly is. If you can think it, I am a firm believer. If you can see yourself doing something, you have the capability of doing it and making it happen. So my room goals is for it to look like a bedroom. It's okay to rest. I always think that the more you work, the better person you are. I don't know that creepy mindset, but anyways, it's creeped in and I'm creeping it out. So I don't want my room to say like, let's take a little nappy, because I love me a good nap. Today's focus is the bed, the desk, and the creating area. So now that's exactly what my bedroom feels like. It feels that I have a bedroom and it's so nice at night because of the ambiance that I give it. And then I have a whole area that I could create. And then I have my TV if I choose to watch TV, which rarely gets turned on. But my youngest roommate does like to come in and just kick it. So he loves it. Everybody loves a new bedroom setup. Ideas and notes. So I want to do the TV mount. I want to DIY the lamp that I have now versus buying a new one, because it is going to take me a little while to buy a lamp. I have made a royal announcement that I want a vintage lamp, one of those milk glass that you, or one of those little candlestick holders too, so it looks like you're walking around with a light. Anyways, but I do want one of those. And I just remembered I am a little bit extra, but I do want a crown for my bed. I want to DIY that because I saw the crowns, and I've seen some that are upwards to $500. I said, I think not. So we're just going to try to see if I could DIY it. And if you guys want an update on how that goes, please let me know. I'll definitely probably post a photo. Here we have what today's quarter you're visioning. So mine was, you know, we're doing bedroom. And the date is 5/23. Okay. So the things that I've already owned. So you also want to take inventory of things that you own. So this way you're not just buying random things. I own the furniture. That's something that's really staying. Tulle, ribbon, foam. These, I'm going to try to see if I could do something with a crown with that. What I'll love to add, I want king size pillows. Yeah, my friend was talking some smack about them because I have queen size pillows and king size pillowcases, but whatever. I just fold the ends down. And then I do want a side lamp, but right now I'm gonna try to DIY the one that I have. A TV mount and the crown for the bed. So my estimated investment is pillows is 100, lamp is 60, TV mount is 50. The reason why I say 100 for pillows is because sometimes you'll find those a really good sale or a really good solid pillow, and sometimes you get, what about if they run up to 25 with taxes, you know? I have enough. So priority first. Mounting that TV is going to make them the fastest improvement in the room. Then it's going to be the pillows, the lamp, and the crown. Since I could try to DIY these, the point is not to buy anything. I could revamp as long as I have it in this house. I think I could make that crown. I just got to be creative. Storage and organization ideas is declutter clothes, the chargers. I work in tech, not like tech, but I do work where there's a lot of chargers and just a lot of devices. So there's that. Little luxuries I'll like someday. New bedding. I'm a big king size bedding type of girl. And crown molding. And as we all know, that can get pretty expensive. That's why it's a luxury. That's not going to be added to the home unless I am debt free completely, besides the home. Okay, besides the home, I gotta be credit card complete, full debt free, and then we will be cash funding that. So the peace plan: small steps, intentional choices, lasting peace. A beautiful space is built one peaceful step at a time. So remember, you don't have to do everything in your home. It could be a small, tiny corner. I started off with the music area for my record player, and it just ski-balled from there. Tiny improvements that cost nothing. So one, I can definitely do clean the carpet. I have a carpet cleaner and I have shampoo, so I'm not spending anything. And everybody knows that when you clean the carpet, it makes the room so much better. Declutter is going to make a huge one. Mount the TV. DIY the lamp. And cart. I'm just going to say cart. Because I do use it. So, I don't know. We got to figure something out for it. Projects for this season: the crown for the bed, and the DIY lamp. What else do I need? I think I could get the pillows as well. Purchases to save for. Well, we are going to save for pillows and the lamp. That's all I'm going to focus on right now. I'm not going to dry it out. The timeline. Ooh, this month, uh, I'll do the lamp because I got 2 weeks, so that should be good. This season, I'm gonna do the crown. This year, TV mount. One day, the pillows. I have pillows. That's why it's not a big deal. This is more of a luxury, really. You know, my next tiny step, what will I need to do next, is shop around the house. And then I'm gonna do a time goal. Maybe I could make it a day or something. So reward after completion. I will treat myself to, because I deserve it, and day I will celebrate it. I'm not gonna fill that out because it's already going on 20 days. Wait, 20 minutes, but I wanted you guys to see how I'm filling this out, how I'm creating peace in my home, and most importantly, how I am saving up. So if I don't want it to go long, so I'm probably gonna make another video of filling out the rest. Just 2 more pages, maybe I'll just finish it. So where I started versus where I am now, I could, now that I got my baseline, this is gonna be maybe the second upgrade to your space. You know, maybe rearranging it or whatnot. What surprised me on this round, bed placement. Bed placement was the biggest, huge eye opener. Crazy. What made the biggest difference? My bed. My bed and my vanity. Where my record player is, it literally takes your breath away at night because you can see the shadows play and dance on the wall, and you put on a little record. It's so relaxing, so relaxing. I love fairy lights too, so that's another thing. You'll see a lot of ambiance in my especially now. How does a space support my peace? It takes my breath away. My breath away. And my favorite new corner or detail. Oh, this one is tough because they both have, maybe I don't know. I might have to think about this one because they both serve me in 2 different ways that it's hard. Letter to future me. I think I want to think about that one as well. Rate my peace. And then after, you kind of rate it. It needs more love. It's getting there. So peaceful. I'm thriving. And you didn't create a space. You created a sanctuary that holds your peace, your joy, your becoming. And a little space for notes and gratitude. I wanted to go over this one. Like I said, this is you're literally going through the proofreading, and I'm revamping as I go. So this is where you could, and it even tells you, laminate this page and use it with a dry erase marker. Dream big. So this way you could use this and reuse it for whatever room you have. right now, because I didn't need a proofread, I'm proofreading, I didn't laminate it. I need to actual write, be able to write. So it even gives you an area for the width of the room, the length, the ceiling height, how many windows, doors, outlets, and any notes, a wish list for that room. Estimated cost, you know, like your big items, your decor, all that stuff. Must stay, things that you are keeping. Every peaceful room begins with a thoughtful plan, an area for notes and ideas, and things that you know that they belong, and you must add that. So that is also now that we know, right, what we want, here is, because now we're going to be building our vision. If you've been following me, you might have picked up this free tea at the courtyard. It was my first freebie, kind of developing the Royal Treasury and my Royal the companion. So each teacup, let's see, we have 20. So this could be my goal, and I'm gonna do $2 each teacup. My goal, I guess I'll do the 40. These days, I don't know what you can buy with $40, but it is money, and I can still treat myself. Maybe a book, maybe a shelf, maybe I find something on, you know, Marketplace. I don't know. I love antiques. So, and then this, I would be saving $40. Okay, so you can check out, this is a freebie on my Ko-fi account. Link is in the bio. And also in the description box, I believe. All right, so let's start off with, first things first, the Royal Treasury and the Royal Courtyard is $40, right? Today's date is January 15th, 26, and then date completed. The Royal Garden Fund. I'm not adding anything right now. Right now I'm focusing on my ambience fund. So what is the ambience fund, right? So this is another tea cart. This is for, oh, this is different. I forgot. All right. I'm gonna splurge a little bit on this one. So let me see. Let's do a little math here. We're gonna do, each teacup is $5 on this one, and we are going to do $100. That can happen. So I'll redo this at a later time so it can look pretty. But so my dashboard for the month of July, and this is volume 1, my fund. So I'm gonna add me, and this is going to be 100. Second will be TV mount. That I had at $50. Then pillows. I had this at $100. And then the lamp. Lamp is also $60. Okay. Another thing that I'm trying to work on is not having to fill out everything just because there's a blank space. Okay, that's another thing that I'm working on. So total income, you know what my income would be, and it's usually we're gonna do roughly 37.50 total budgeted and total spent. So remember, this is a little bit different. You're going to have your cash breakdowns as well, notes and reminders, things like that. Not everything needs to be filled out, guys. So this is going to be towards my reward, which I don't know what my reward is, but I do have an area to write down my notes. Here's what date, the amount, and the total. So you get to take a tally of it. So my next one, Royal Garden Fund, and this is where saving for outdoor beauty and garden joy. This one is we're saving for peaceful moments, cozy treats, and a little something special in the courtyard. Okay. The next one, each one has its tracker. Ambiance. This is for candles, lamps, and cozy vibes. Pillows, I guess? Well, not pillows, because I got another one. So this is for the ambiance. I need 60, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3, 18. And, okay, so 60 divided by 18. We're going to do $3? No, $4? Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do $4 a piece. Now, you could use a roll of dice or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that at $4 a piece. And the total should be $72. Even though we budgeted for 6, I'm just going to do it like that so I'm not messing around with the coins. Royal Library. So this is for saving books, shelves, and reading nooks. I'm not going to work on my reading nook yet. I already have one, so that's the reason why. So comfort. Saving for blankets, pillows, and everyday comforts. These are things that we typically use, but we just, I don't budget for them. Here I am. So pillows are 100, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. So 100 divided by 15. We're gonna do $7. That's gonna give us $105 saved. Okay. Date started. We're gonna do 7/15. Okay. The next one, okay, is saving for decor, artwork, and beautiful spaces. So I updated, the only thing between the two spaces that I updated that I spent on was $30. I cash funded that, and it was for a trellis for Buttercup, which is one of my plants. The next one, the Royal Waiting List. Okay, this is where we jot down what we've been wanting. Okay, so the first item we're gonna do is a lamp. TV mount. I also want a pillows. What else do I want? I think that's what I want so far. And here is the estimated cost is $60. The TV mount, I had it at $50, and the pillows I have $100. And then the date added is July 15th. And do I still want it? This is where you are going to, is it, reflect. Is it worth the wait, worth the peace? So you're not just putting it on credit. So now it's like the 30-day verdict, okay? This is when you have your meeting, like, all right, did you buy it? Did you change your mind? Is it still waiting to go on sale? Future treasury problem, which means you just swiped it and put it on debt. And then still on my heart, you haven't received it, but you still want it. Our next one, future treasury wishes. So some wishes are simply future chapters waiting to be written. So my wish is, remember, I want that crown for bed. And then I also want crown molding. What else did I want? I think that's it. Why it matters, future chapter notes, and little things like that. Like, how much would it cost? A crown for a bed, I've seen them as at least what I'm looking for, way over my price range. Way over. I mean, up to thousands. The one, every single time I'm like, ooh, this is beautiful. How much would, I'm not spending that on a crown for my bed. I'm not knocking it. I have a Victorian orphans budget. We're not spending the freaking $2,000 on a crown. No, I'd rather keep that in, pay off debt. So the Treasury review. So this is our come to Jesus meeting. All right. So our item. We want the TV mount, right? So that's where I'm going for. I also want the lamp, pillows, the crown. I think that's what I have for now. The estimated cost is 50, 60, 100. And the crown, I honestly think the most, if I ever decide, maybe $50. I know I'm very frugal, wise. I just don't, and that's really pushing it. So now we're moving along, right? So now we're moving along to where this also has a envelope dashboard, so you know which fund goes where. You don't have to keep it this way. You could also put it behind the tracker, whatever your little heart desires. Here we go. My favorite, I love me a good IOU. So, because life happens, life, it happens. So give yourself some grace. It gives you a place for the amount, the date, what's for, the reason, and each one has its own IOU. This one's for the freebie, actually. Okay. Yeah, this one's for the freebie. So we are going to fund this. Oh, the next one. So now we have the chapter completion ceremony. Am I correct on here? And it's which chapter did I complete? Could it be the bedroom, the music corner, the date completed, what improvements brought the most joy, what surprised me the most during this chapter, what am I the most proud of, what will carry into my next chapter, what chapter am I excited for next. Some wishes are simply future chapters waiting to happen. So this is a way that allows you to really be intentional with what you're saving, to stay on budget. To stay on budget. So that's exactly what we are doing with this one. I have $10, and I do want to add $2 to my freebie. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and fill that out. So today's date is July 15th. $2, notes. You don't really need any notes for that. Next one. Let's go ahead and see if I have. That one's 5. I'm gonna have to do that at a later time, so that's too much. I'm definitely going to change my my binder. There you go. So comfort, comfort is $7. I don't even think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Wow. Okay. I am going to do $3 for each. So I'm going to do this one. What I'm, instead of doing it this way, I know exactly how I'm going to be doing the dice challenge. Oh no. There we go. So we're going to do okay, this is all we're going to do. Just because I do not have the die close to me, I'm not going to worry about it. However, I am at a later time going to change the envelopes around. So we got $3 for comfort. What's next here? Yeah, most definitely going to be updating this. The ambience as well is going to get $2 or 3. $15, $3, $3. And now we're going to move over to ambiance. Perfect. So, not doing anything for that one. Ambiance is taken care of. I do not have anything for that one. Comfort. I'm going to do 3, 3. And 7.15. Oh, it's like really, really long, guys. I'm sorry. Beautification, decor, artwork, beautiful spaces. I don't have that. So I'm going to add these two. I'm going to do the TV mount under beautification. That's what I'm going to do. Beautification, which is the artwork, the decor, or whatnot. And this one is $2. This is going to be TV mount. $7.15. $2. Total $2. There we go. We've originally have officially funded our first Royal Quarters, and I promise that next time it's definitely going to be a lot shorter, only because this is the first time me filling it out to its intent, and you're gonna pretty much watch it evolve. Oh, didn't mean to move you there, but you'll see this evolve into a beautiful space, I hope. And if you have any feedback, please let me know. Or if you want me to explain something a little bit more in depth, more than I already was, I don't think I could, but please, thank you for staying this long. I really appreciate it, and for helping me with my watch hours. So if you want to get on the list for the watch hours, please leave a comment. I will definitely do that. Have a great one. Peace be with you.